Hi everyone. Today our word work lesson is going to be about the word suffix, or suffixes. Suffixes are the endings of words. So we can have a base word, and that's the word we start with, and then the suffix is the ending of that word. There are lots of different suffixes. We use them all the time, and we probably don't even think about them or even know that they are called suffixes or a suffix. So I'm just going to show you an example right now, and then I'm going to read a story that talks about them. So I'm going to erase these, and I'm going to put a word. I'm going to put the word jump, J, U, jump. So right now that would be my base word. Now I'm going to add some different suffixes to this. So jump. I jumped over the curb. Jumped. So now let's add the suffix. Jump is my base word, and now I'm going to add ed ending. Jumped. There's my suffix right there. If I had a skipping rope, I could be jumping. Let's write that down. Ing. Now the ing is my suffix ending. Maybe I'm a long jumper in track and field, so I can be a jumper. 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 So now I've taken one base word, jump, and I've added 3 different suffixes to change the meaning of the word. I jumped. I could be jumping, an action word. I could be a jumper. There are lots of different words that I can change. Sometimes the rules of the word change a bit. So I'm now going to take another J word, and the J word is joke. Okay, I like to tell a joke. Now, if you're a person that likes to tell a joke and be really silly, maybe you are a joker. So all I need to do to this word now is, do I need to add an extra ER for my ending, or do I just need to add the R? I just need to add the R because the E is already there. Joker. Now, if I take the word joke again, and I want to say, oh, he joked around, what letter do I add now? D, joked, D. I just add a D. What if you tell a joke and somebody didn't really like it and you say, oh, I'm just joking? Now this is where things change a little bit. For that word, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually get rid of the E, and I'm just going to put an I-N-G, joking. Now, it takes some practice to know with the words where you drop the E. If you drop the E, it's not going to break. That just means take the E out of the word and add the ending and when to keep it. The more you practice, the more it starts to make sense and you kind of catch on to the rules. So that's just a quick little intro to it. Let's share our story now. Our story is called Happy Endings, a story about suffixes. It is written by Robin Pulver and illustrated by Lynn Rowe Reed, and it is published by Scholastic, and we always like to thank them for letting us share these stories online. Happy Endings. The school year was winding down. The days seemed endless. Endless. That's a suffix. Mr. Wright's students were excited about summer vacation. Now, if you take a look at the words and you look at all the red letters, those are the suffix endings. Adding an S, the ED endings, the ING, even LY, like slowly, happily, that LY is a suffix ending. The word endings were excited too. Mr. Wright had written them on the board. Their turn had come at last. Finally, said L.Y. After so much standing by and watching and waiting, said I.N.G. S said 3 cheers for word endings. and ES, also known as suffixes. I was about to send out a reminder, said ER. We were kind of grumpy and grouchy, said Y. Now we're speechless with happiness, NESSLESS. We're the happiest endings in the world. Look at all of those endings on the board. That's a lot of suffixes. Did you know those were suffixes? Now you know a really big word. Mr. Wright announced, this afternoon we'll be studying word endings or suffixes. Word endings are your friends. They help with tough words in reading. They sure do. If you look at those ED endings, ER, ing, that really help us break the word down and sound it out. Being helpful makes me joyful. Mr. Wright saved best for last. At that moment, every ending in the room was a happy ending. But the kids were in no mood for studying. Oh, look at their faces. Mr. Wright, you must be kidding. I'm not joking. There's that joking word we talked about where they dropped the E. Do you see how the E is popping out of the word? The kids kept fussing. We're already smarter than we were when school started. Why bother learning something new? We'd rather be cleaning out our desks. Suffixes sound suffocating. And then the E is dropped out of that word, and the E is saying, don't worry, I won't break. I know you kids are restless, said Mr. Wright. Nevertheless, next year you'll be expected to know word endings, but right now it's time to be lining up for cafeteria. The kids forgot everything they learned about school rules and good manners. They butted and budged and pushed. Look at all those ED endings. Mr. Wright sent the rudest and noisiest kids to the end of the line. Being at the end is what you get for behaving badly. As the kids walked away, Mr. Wright reminded them, after lunch and our read aloud, we'll tackle word endings. Watching and listening, the word endings were stunned. They're going to tackle us? Yikes, what does Mr. Wright mean by tackling us? Why would they do that? We're not the enemy and we're not playing football. Are we being punished? Is that why we're at the ends of words? Of course not, we don't behave badly. Now every ending was a sad ending. We don't do anything wrong. If Mr. Wright is serious about teaching the kids to tackle us, we should get in shape for tackling them back. It pays to be prepared. Right, they're bigger than we are. Fitness might help, but doesn't kindness win in the end? Kind, kinder, kindly, kindness. Lots of ways to change that word with endings. The word ending slipped off the board. They headed for the gym to work out. This situation is getting hairy. We're splitting. Off to the gym they go. Meanwhile, in the cafeteria, the kids were acting up. They were throwing food, yelling, and goofing off. After lunch, their exasperated teacher announced, we're skipping read aloud. We're going right into studying word endings. The kids protested. But it's the last chapter of Ace Cooper Dog Detective. You'll have to make up your own ending, said Mr. Wright. It's time to tackle suffixes. He pointed at the board, then he stared. Good grief, he said. This is the craziest year of my teaching life. No summer vacation until the word endings are found. Seriously. Vacationless? We're doomed, groaned the kids. Suddenly, word endings were terribly important and the kids wanted them back. Where did the endings go? Maybe they were kidnapped. Yeah, like Puppy and Ace Cooper Dog Detective. We should be detectives and find them. We need clues. The kids got busy making and putting up posters. Want, the bad guy who kidnapped our word end, aka suffix. If anybody has a clue, please tell Mr. Wright's class. So in their poster, it's missing the endings. Meanwhile, in the gym, when the suffixes were doing push-ups and pull-ups, they were running and jumping, bouncing and balancing. Finally, they felt stronger. They felt braver too. They started back to the classroom. In the hall, they spotted the posters. Reward for find suffix. Help us learn is your reward. The word endings decided to hide and make up clues. This was their big chance to go first. Try, clean out your desk. Hurry, we're suffocate. None of these things are making sense without the endings. Now all the word endings were hopeful endings. They hoped the kids would find them. They hoped they wouldn't be tackled after all. The kids found the clues in plain sight. At first they were impossible to read, but finally, aha, we figured it out. The endings come first in these mixed up words. If we move them to the end where they belong, we can read the clues. Thanks to these clues, the kids exclaimed, we don't have to search endlessly. They talked Mr. Right into letting them clean out their desk. Thank goodness we've found you. Thank goodness this day is nearly over. Mr. Right smiled and opened Ace Scooper Dog Detective to the last chapter. When he started to read, the kids settled down and listened. Thank goodness the puppy is safe. When Mr. Right announced the end, everyone rejoiced. Finally, summer vacation stretched ahead, promising days of endless fun. Every ending leads to a new beginning. And there's Mrs. Edinger. Look, she is us. Inger. And then here is just kind of a little information page. It says word endings or suffixes are letter groups that are added to the end of a base word or a root word. So rooting, you add ing to root, you get rooting. I'm rooting for you as you tackle suffixes. We will be helpful. Okay, so that is a pretty quick little lesson, but I think with just a little bit of practice, you will be able to kind of catch on to how you can change just simple words that you already know into different words by adding different endings. I'm looking right now and I see that our mail carrier person is coming down the street. I can take the word mail. Let's give it a try. Oh, it's got the long A sound. M-A-I-L. Mail. I am mailing my brother a birthday card. Mailing. I mailed my brother a birthday card. Okay, so that's just taking one word and changing with a couple endings, and I just thought of that word because I saw our mail carrier person. Cook. Last night I cooked dinner. What do I need to add to the ending? Cooked. E-D. Tonight we will be cooking dinner. I-N-G. Changing words by changing the suffix, the ending. Good luck, grade ones. See you next time.